Welcome to the mental edge.
I do
talking,
well.
right? Maybe
you know
I'll-
what?
Yeah.
I always do like this with my beard.
Well, yeah,
So
we have a
maybe
great
that's what you
beard.
do.
Yeah, I don't,
Right?
so I can't.
Oh, whatever, Miguel. Like, I see
I
you
really-
make it. Oh, bro.
I have to be
But
okay.
you make beards look great.
Yes, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
That's
love
awesome, man.
Yeah.
You know how where I first heard of you, and it just hit me right now. Luis Mendoza. He
Yes.
So
yes.
Louis Mendoza is married to my cousin. He got 3 kids, and I remember him. He speaks very highly of you. So that's
Yeah.
how I was.
Okay.
I never put a face to the name, but when Jay said you were coming, traditions. I passed by your barbershop, and I'm like, that's the guy Louis is always
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
It's a pleasure to meet you, bro. I heard a lot
Pleasure,
of
man.
awesome things
I
about
know.
you.
We were trying to get dirt. There's no dirt, but where's the dirt at? You got no dirt, man.
Man, bro.
Gotta go back to like the 3rd grade, man.
yeah.
Bro.
Yeah, he was he was playing pencil pop, if that was a thing in 3rd grade.
Yeah. Oh,
He
you
broke
even
my
know that,
pencil.
right?
Dog.
Yeah, that's past me, bro.
Yeah.
I'm a 91 kid, man.
Oh,
91.
Yeah,
Okay,
bro.
all right.
91.
Yeah.
We're 92 graduates and
Yeah,
93
93.
graduate.
Oh,
so
man.
we're old. We're old, man.
So you're 30,
32.
32.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So then let's get it going then, Miguel. Let's introduce you to the listeners, and then we're going to get into a deep dive about why you're here.
Yeah, what he does, right?
Yeah, and what you do and why I saw you one day and I just knew. I hit up my boy Josh. I'm like, I need to have this guy on the show because I can just tell he's special. So,
Yeah.
Miguel, could you tell us about who you are and where you're from? And
Yeah. So, well, my name's Miguel Negroni. I'm 32 years old. I'm married to my lovely wife, who I've been with since high school. She's my rock. Her name's Jacqueline. We have 3 girls together. We have Melly, Journey, and Miracle. 13, 7, and 5. And I'm originally a Portage graduate.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Indians, Portage Indians.
Yeah.
You know, I know the Brickies don't like that too much.
Man, you notice he said it twice, right?
Yeah,
Indians.
yeah.
Yeah. And so I graduated 2011. It's funny, I originally enrolled at IUN for criminal justice. I wanted to do something in the law enforcement field, and then just didn't work out that way. And like 2 weeks later, they gave me a grant, a check for like $2,000. I blew through that thing the moment that I got it, man.
Yeah.
I went and put a down payment on barber school. I bought a whole new clipper
Wow.
set. Yeah. IUN was blowing my phone up for the months to come, and I don't know, it's nowhere on my credit report or anything, so I think I'm good.
All units, be on the lookout for Miguel Negroni of Traditions Barbershop, who's known to be armed with a clipper and dangerous.
It's so good. So
That is
here's
awesome.
the deal. Like when most people say they blew their grant, they didn't invest in themselves. Like he invested in himself
Yeah.
even when he blew it, right?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
it's
It was
very
like a
weird.
jumbo shrimp. Like he the first thing he said was like he blew it, and I'm thinking, all right, man, I'm about to hear something crazy,
yeah.
juicy, and then all of a sudden he came back with, I invested in myself. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
this dude's the bomb.
His most irresponsible moment
Yeah.
was responsible.
He was
Yeah.
responsible, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
were you always into barbering? Is that something
So-
that you did on the side? Like, how'd that go down?
You know what? So funny enough, my sister Lisa, so I come from a family, the oldest of 6. There's 3 boys, 3 girls. I'm the second youngest. I have a younger sister underneath me.
Okay.
I started off cutting hair at like 13. My brothers, and when I mean cutting hair, had no clue. You know, we're cutting each other like I'm jacking these
You're
guys
like, you
up,
look
like, and I did it
great.
like I thought I was doing something right.
Yeah.
And they were getting, they were walking out, their hairlines were crooked. They had red marks all across their neck. I mean, it was bad, man.
Yeah.
It was bad. And that's where the passion came. My sister bought me a Walmart kit at 13. And,
Oh, nice.
my sister bought me a Walmart kit at 13.
Bling, bling.
Wow.
Yeah, so from 13 to 18, you kind of messed around with it.
Right.
You know, high school, freshman year, you start just messing. That's how it
Yeah.
starts, you know, and you
Yeah.
start messing people
Did you
up.
have guys like sitting on those 5-gallon buckets in your
But
basement?
buckets, stools, anything, bathroom, toilets.
Yeah,
you know,
anything that you
yeah.
can, yeah.
I'm skinny enough to get in between where the shower and the toilet is. So yeah,
Dude, this is great.
yeah, I did that.
Awesome.
My brothers, my nephews,
So
friends.
you're a little creative.
A little bit, yeah.
I mean, that's like, did you know that when you were younger? Like,
Yeah.
I knew I wanted to do something.
we always doodling, drawing little things. And
Yes.
okay.
I was really good at coloring and
Okay.
shading a certain
shading?
way. Yeah, like
Okay.
I knew if I was coming at a diagonal, I was finishing at a diagonal.
And you're a southpaw.
Yeah, I'm a lefty, so yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I noticed
so
that
from
as soon as he
shading
was
to
like
fading.
Yeah.
from
Right?
shading to fading.
Yeah.
Shading,
Bro, he's
yeah.
he's coming up with them all day
Yeah,
like this.
wow.
From
That's
shading
good.
to fading. He
From
doesn't
shade-
care.
oh, man.
Yeah, he's gonna. It doesn't stop here. Trust me, man. You can't.
Oh, man.
Don't even sit
Well,
on
he
that
ma-
one too
he
long
makes
because
it
it's just
easy,
gonna
though,
keep
right?
going.
Guys
Yeah.
like him make it
yeah.
easy,
So and the reason I say that is because I know that a lot of the young men that I've they're super creative. I see it in their content. I see it in the videos that they post on Instagram, and you
Yeah.
know, and so I had to ask. I'm a creative guy. Jay's a creative guy. You know, I always loved art and to draw. And when I see like the hair and how they blend, and I'm probably saying all the wrong terms, but and the guys that I knew that were young doing it, I'm like, yeah, that guy's creative, man. That guy is, you know, and a lot of them used to draw. They used to draw on people's hair. They used to put lines and crazy designs, and you know, and I can just imagine that when you were, you know, 13 years old and with coming from this big family, like at first you might have been, you know, messing around, but then pretty soon you probably thought to yourself, you know, I like this,
Yeah.
you know, and you took it more serious. And it sounds like it because your sister bought you a kit, the Walmart
Walmart
kit.
special. Walmart
Yeah,
special.
you were Miguel the Butcher in the beginning.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Man, that's awesome to hear, man.
Yeah.
So okay, now high school, you know, you're messing around with it. So there was a kind of this little thing. You were gonna go to IUN, but instead you took that money and you invested in yourself. And what did it look like after that?
So, barber school, I knew right away was quicker than going to college.
Yeah.
It was 9 months, 1,500 hours, Tuesday through Saturday. Believe it or not, I was in there from 9 to 5, and I got my first job working in a shop. And they gave me a key, and I was driving to school. I was going from school in Maryville to Lake Station every day, and I was just trying to build. And this, I think might have been around. I think MySpace was dying out. Facebook was coming in.
Yeah,
so that
yeah.
era. The owner gave me some business cards with his name on it, and I was like, man, how am I supposed to promote? And he's like, oh yeah, no, you pass these out. They call me. I'll make them. You know, I'll
book 'em
set
for
them.
you or whatever.
Yeah. I knew that was all setting him up to succeed. So I would scratch his name out and just put my name.
Yeah.
And I was walking up and down Ridge Road. Up and
Wow.
down Ridge Road, running up to cars, offering haircuts. I was offering free haircuts then, even though I was in the shop. And I still use that technique now when I'm mentoring to my younger students and kids that I'm trying to persuade. I'm like, give it for free. And I have a whole reasoning behind that.
Yeah.
And I did that for so long. Hey, you give a free cut, bring back 2 people. Your next haircut's free. Stuff like that to build just little marketing techniques that I just had to learn on my own because I was actually super shy growing up, very, very nervous when I talked. Just very, very, I guess you could say introverted. Actually, I had this crazy love for basketball, like this huge obsession with it.
Okay.
That is like what like molded me and pushed me. Go out shooting in the rain, playing ball growing
Yeah.
up. I had this crazy idea that I wanted to be like in the NBA like every other kid.
Yeah.
Right.
That was another reason why I was going to IUN because I was trying out for the team. Didn't work out. But it wasn't until like years down the road that I realized I wanted to own a business or even be a owner.
Right.
I just knew that wherever I worked at, I had other jobs. I only had 2 other jobs before barbering. The Duke of Oil, changing oil, and then McDonald's, you know.
Yeah.
Dang.
Messing around in the back, but I knew I wanted to outwork everybody around me.
Yeah. You were on level 10.
Yeah,
even though-
yeah.
And are you one of those guys that any job you take on, you're gonna do to the best of your ability?
Yes, except putting together furniture from IKEA.
Yeah. Come on and shoot.
I'm not.
I kill you, man.
When my
I kill
wife
you.
watches this, she'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Like,
But,
So
yeah.
where do you think that comes from? Like, is that not was that instilled in you as a young child from family? Is that just something that you had?
competitive.
Like, yeah, how
or
did
is
that-
it just personal?
I think it's a personal thing. My father, he just retired from the mill after 47 years.
Yeah.
I saw his consistency.
Yeah.
There was a point in the economy where it was so crazy. He was staying over at the mill to make ends meet. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
sure.
And I saw that, and I saw my mother take care of the household and my brother and sisters. And I just told me, as little as it was, my dad was very to himself every day, came home. But I wanted to be like Pops. You know?
Absolutely brilliant.
You know, I wanted to be like my dad and see the consistency with how he worked. Our dad got up. Dad just got home. Now he's going back. You know, now all these years later, you know, I'm still working like that still. And I have this conversation with clients, friends, family daily on the consistency and whatever that you do in life, whether you're working, serving, you know, trying to reach the community, reach the people around you or the next generation. It was just something about like being consistent. It was just something about like being consistent.
Yeah.
Just having that
I love
drive,
that.
that drive in you, you know?
Yeah,
So this
consistency is
isn't
important.
the only thing you do, though, right? I want to touch on some stuff too. So you're not just, and not that that's not enough. It's more than enough. You are a business owner. You do cut hair inside your own business, but you also do some youth pastoring?
I do. So actually, yeah, me and my wife were actually now the youth pastors at our church. Our good buddies were there before, and they took a position somewhere else, and that is just like a whole nother world, and just now you're instilling godly principles in them, and they're looking at you, and they're coming to me, and we hang out weekly.
Yes.
We get together, you know, Bible studies. We do them on Zoom, and just more of just talking about God and things of God and the purity of God, and you know, whether that be from a serving Him, but from a relational standpoint, from a one-on-one to ministering to reaching the world, you know, and it's been great. It's been something that's truly just even changed my life on a whole nother perspective. You know what I mean? And
it's
we
deep
live in this
stuff,
day
man.
and age now where everyone voices their opinion on how they feel and what they see. And I just tell these young people, I'm like, you have no reason to be ashamed of the gospel and
Come on and shoot.
sharing it and reaching the world.
Yeah.
That it's changed me.
Yeah.
You know, and
If you don't mind me asking, when did that change happen? So is that something that was?
Was it always brewing? Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it in your family?
family
That's a great
churchgoers?
question.
yes and no.
Or-
We
okay.
grew up a little bit on and off going,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it wasn't until I was like 18, 19. That's when everything started hitting me.
Yeah, a lot happened
I was gonna
during
say,
that
man.
time.
Yeah, a lot happened. A lot happened then, and God just kind of just like, it's like He was already almost always there,
Yeah.
knocking, but I wasn't ready to receive it, if that makes sense. And it just
Most
when-
people say that about their 30s, Miguel.
Yeah.
Not 13, not 18 or 19.
18,
So
yeah.
you are blessed to be that connected and be that drawn so early, in my opinion. you know?
yeah.
And how'd so you are a minister,
Yeah.
a youth minister. So how'd that play out? That part
Um,
is that more recent or is
that's about like a year. Maybe
Okay.
a year and a half. So me and my wife were already working with the youth.
Yeah.
But I guess we didn't quote unquote have the title
Yeah.
of being youth pastors.
okay?
But that's been, like I said, that's a whole nother dynamic when you're reaching the youth and the community and just people and especially this day and age where I feel like the world needs it more than ever.
Yeah.
They're influenced by social media, Instagram,
Yeah.
Facebook, TikTok, their friends in school.
boom.
Yeah, you know, neighborhood, you know, groups and cliques that they're a part of. Like I told you, I played basketball from elementary all the way up, and I got to be around, if you want to call them the jocks, but
Yeah.
for some reason, I always would rather sit with the kid at the lunch table that was by himself. I always would rather sit with the kid at the lunch table that was by himself. Not because I wanted to stand out and show my friends, but I just was drawn to that.
Yeah. You are drawn to people, though. You definitely are
Yeah.
a people person. Miguel.
Yeah.
You reached out from the street to give free haircuts. We're going to get into the way you mentor and why I was drawn to your style in a little bit, but I do think this is such a good line of questioning because I noticed that it doesn't seem like when you walk into your shop, Miguel, I felt it was special, like right away, like because it felt really relevant. And I love, like, that's my goal here in this town too. I love the city, and I always want it to be like taking a step forward.
Yeah.
When I walked into your barbershop, and I don't mean this in a bad way, I was like, wow, like this is where Hobart's going. Like there's a great vibe in here.
Yeah.
And then when I was in there, Fernando, within 10 minutes, in walks 3 ridiculously cool, like these teenagers who are holding a Bible and coming to give him a high five and give him a man hug like that. You know, that bro hug where you lean in and just to say hi to him. They're reaching back out to connect to him because there's something going on there.
Yeah.
And Miguel, they're drawn to you. And it just could be the way that I watched you engage a mentor, Miguel. I mean, I watched you engage a young man you were mentoring. And what I noticed was the spirit of the whole relationship was so calm.
Yeah.
And you were not in a hurry. You were literally there for that kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
He could have been talking about his family. He could have been talking about learning your craft. It didn't matter, Miguel. It seems like you're great at making yourself available.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny that you say that, Jay. Somebody told me when I was younger, I remember he said this. He said, Miguel, and this is along the lines of barbering. He said, Miguel, if you make yourself available, he's like, nobody would be able to touch you, stand against you, or come up toward again, come at you, whatever you had, because you like your time and your focus, you know. And
Wow.
my wife, when she's talking to me, I want to give her my focus, my time, and my attention to everything that she's saying. My kids, my children.
You're present.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the key, right?
Present. I'm present. My eyes need to be focused, and that's right now where I'm at as far as that. The community, Hobart, the surrounding cities, reaching the world, sharing Christ with them, and just being available to somebody goes so far than anything can ever, you know, than anything, because it's just sometimes people just need to voice themselves and they're looking for somebody to listen.
To literally listen.
Just
shut
just
up
listen.
and
Yeah,
listen.
just look them in the eyes, and that's what I want to create with Traditions Barbershop. It's funny because I didn't know what I wanted to create, but I knew I wanted, like, now I'm gonna be taking some younger barbers to some hair seminars and like think like the hair show at the McCormick. It's like that with 40,000 people walking around, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
We've done late night Bible studies at the shop. You know, we've done just a lot of different things that even I've created this. I'm like, man, God is really our provider. You know what I mean? And he's helped me, and he's led me, and he's just like kept me, you know, and he's kept, and you know, that I feel like that's where I get my peace from, is from him. And you know, that I feel like that's where I get my peace from, is from him. It's from him. It's from him.
So that piece he's talking about. Now, Fernando, Josh shared a story with me, you know, because Josh loves you, man.
Oh yeah, that's my boy, man.
Huddleston loves you. He said that when you started Traditions, like within a week, the city knocked on the door. They said, "Hey, man, we're closing the street down."
No way.
Yeah.
I think that was blow number one. And then COVID. I think at some point, like right out of the gate, and he said he gave you a special award because that part of the reason why I gave you that award, Miguel, was because he said that you never said a negative thing. He said, I just got to grind. I'm going to figure it out.
Yes. Wow. Yeah. So backstory.
Yeah.
I opened up Traditions Barbershop in 2018. Me and my wife, we had our second our second child. I had owned a barbershop in Cherville.
Okay.
With a business partner. We decided on good terms to split. I decided to come back to Hobart. Hobart always had this thing, you know, this just where I wanted to place a business. So anyway, I went through everything with him. We split. I came here. I called all my clients. I found the spot, locked it in.
Yeah.
I wasn't always on the corner where you guys see Traditions. I was a storefront down.
Okay.
And yes, we opened that up with taped windows. We added some chairs, put a TV up, and they literally knocked on the door and literally said they're ripping up the road, and literally said that it was going to be 6 to 9 months.
Oh man.
We
nice
had
to meet you.
yeah. I didn't get a chance to ask the worker if he wanted a haircut or not. Because I would have cut his hair.
Right. Oh man.
We went and made poster boards, went and got a tent. I still got pictures somewhere. I know they're on Facebook. Got a tent, got banners. I think we even bought balloons and streamers. Went to the corner of where 600 East, 603rd, and 600 Center Street is.
Yeah.
And we were waving cars down, flagging them down, telling them, hey, we just opened up right down here. That road was all ripped up. They're ripping out old water lines or something. And yeah, you talk about like facing defeat. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got two things that I want to ask. Okay, so one, I'm piggybacking off of what Jay said. So the piggyback is, I didn't meet you until today, and when you walked into this room, I did feel, I said, man, this guy is present. Right? So I can attest to, because eye contact, you gave me all your attention. I introduced you to the kids, and then you individually gave each kid their attention.
Yeah.
It was
This is who
really
you are.
cool
It's who he is,
cool to watch. You know, I think that's a superpower. There's a self-awareness that you have. I feel like that's a superpower that I experienced today. And then the second one is not such a deep revelation, but why traditions?
Yeah, the name. Great question.
Yeah, that's funny. This is good. So I had went through all these different names. My first barbershop was called Men's Modern Cuts. It was just a style of, the modern man deal. We wore polos every day type of thing, tucked in, and we were just, clean cut. And it was good. It worked out. But it was time for me and my partner to split. And that was hard because he was my best friend. This guy's like my brother.
Okay.
Yeah. Shout out my boy Jose. He's out in Cherville. He's got a team of guys. He's doing great things too. He's mentoring too.
Wow.
So yeah, it's crazy. He doesn't even know that yet, I don't think. At least he might, I don't know. Traditions was, so barbering to me was, so growing up, we never went to the barber shop. My mom cut my hair a couple times. We went to like Great Clips and haircut places.
The chains.
Barbering, growing up, was not this modern, guys got Jordans and Yeezys on and the cool out. Like, that was not, it was like older gentlemen.
Yes.
You had a flat top, a crew cut, and a buzz cut.
All right, which one was yours?
Mine was a buzz cut, yeah.
Yeah. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So traditions was like this, it was like I wanted to paint this, like, this natural feel, like you smell the aftershave, the conversation, the loud yelling in the barbershop, the conversation, the stop of the clip, You want to learn about what's going on in the neighborhood, you come to the barbershop.
Yeah.
You watch any movie, that's what they're doing. They got one guy's got the lather just on his face, he's got the hot towel. That's the barbershop.
Right.
Whatever's on the TV, everybody stops and looks. Like
Right.
We turn on 4 o'clock WGN News every day at the shop. That's the barbershop. So traditions was just this like natural, just everything about it. I have this weird obsession with going to antique stores and buying vintage barbering stuff.
Yeah.
All the chairs in the shop are from like the 60s.
Wow. Yeah.
That's like my thing is like going to antique shops and auctions and just buying random barbering stuff. So I felt like that to me was what barbering was.
Yeah.
But also is giving a place that somebody can come in and vent to their barber.
Yeah.
Issues in their life, whether that be spiritual or physically, the sickness in their body, something with their children. I wanted to create like this traditional, like custom, just this venting platform for anybody and everybody to voice themselves.
Right.
And growing up, for me, I felt like I never really had that chance. I had close friends, but in school, I was very shy. That's how traditions came about.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great. So you're hearkening back to an era of barbershops that you want to be reminiscent of.
Yeah.
So the name, it was a tradition. It's traditional.
it's
It's like a
traditional.
traditional environment,
Yeah.
but it's the modern version of the traditional environment.
Yeah.
Because it definitely has evolved because dudes are coming. Miguel, I tried to get an appointment with you. They said 2032. They said March of 2032. That's the first day we got a 4 p.m. on a Tuesday, 2032. You got are you down? You know,
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's I'm sorry, Jay.
It is what it is. I'm
booked all
on
the
roll with
way
Glenn
up.
over there, and
That's
he's
funny.
cool.
2032.
I'm trying to be loyal, but anyway, yeah. So Yeah, I love the vibe in that shop, and it's funny that you start to everything that you're talking about. It makes so much sense, Miguel, about you being able to be such a great mentor, because I believe the connection is, I know that kids are coming. How many barber mentors? How many kids are coming to you like almost under your wing right now? Because someone said up to 7.
So we have like a group chat that we started. Me and my buddy James.
Yes.
And funny enough story, James, I messaged this guy on Facebook randomly, and I don't even know why I do that. The only thing I'll get on Facebook for like marketplace, finding chairs and stuff.
Sure.
And James he was on this verge of like, I guess he was messing around cutting hair, but then like he was gonna do something else. Now James is like blown. He's like full blown. Like James is going to be the face of Hobart barbering here in like 2 years, because this guy, he's going to be the guy cutting it till 1, 2, 3 a.m., coming back, cutting at 6. He's just driven, and he thanks me every time because he's like, bro, you reached out to me at a point where I needed somebody. And I was like, man.
And he's there at your shop.
He's in high school. He's a 16-year-old.
Oh.
So was he the one that one of them actually got caught cutting hair at school?
I don't know. That might have been him. That might have been James.
That's the story that Josh has. And so Josh said something one time. He said, hey, someone asked him about somebody painting graffiti. And Josh said, well, if kids are painting graffiti, maybe we need to figure out why we're not giving them enough to do.
Yeah.
And then when I heard that there was a kid that might have got caught at the school cutting hair, and Miguel's like, send them to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's do something with that energy. And
Yeah.
So all of a sudden now, are you just like this magnet? What's going on? I mean, why are they seem to keep acquiring these subjects?
I believe, it's what they see when they're scrolling. And I'm a person, I want to be positive, regardless of what it is. I have to be positive. I'm a shop owner. I'm a husband. I'm a father. I have to be positive in so many areas. Youth leader, have to be positive constantly. I feel like they're being drawn towards what they see, but also what they feel.
It's real.
It's real.
Yes.
And they're searching and they're looking for that place. And little enough did I know that's what I've been building since 2018. Before 2018, when I opened up Men's Modern Cuts, and before that, when I was working at inside a Meijer grocery store, there was a barbershop there. And then even before that, when I was 19, working at my first shop in Lake Station. So I feel like that's now my purpose, is to just give them a place to voice themselves and be that light to somebody, Yeah. Now, we have like 8 or 9 people in a group chat. Wow. Hey, bro, what do you guys think? And it's constructive criticism. Hey, bro, what do you guys think about this haircut? Yeah, man, do this next time. This. Hey, man, this clipper just came out. Yeah, so I've been to the hair shows. I've invested some time into this career, and now it's just like giving back in such this positive way. We give free haircuts out to churches around back to school.
Yeah. Wasn't there like 50 or something crazy like that?
We did. It's funny. This was supposedly, quote unquote, Hobart's first ever back to school haircutting event. Yeah. We did like 60 haircuts in 2 days. 60 haircuts in 2 days.
Absolutely brilliant.
And I don't even know how I did this. Ask my wife. She was there.
60 in 2 days.
Wow.
Yeah. 60 in 2 days on some super high bar stools like that one over there.
You're like bleeding.
Yeah. Not like so they were like higher up, but it was fun. It felt good and it felt right. The smile is priceless that you can do that for somebody, like something so little like that. Who would have ever thought that would be what put a smile on someone's face, You
mentioned mentoring a few times, and I want to add a mentoring story really quick.
Please.
And so I was young. I was being led in a wrong way, like I was following the wrong people. And there was a gentleman that I wanted to reach out to. He felt like he was not going to be approachable. But when I called, he answered. Okay? And I had to ask him a question, Asked him a question, he answered. And I called again. And this is a really busy guy. Guess what happened the second time? He answered again.
Wow.
So, of course, I had all the time in the world. I'm young, and what I found was I there's people in my life that I wanted to ask for mentorship, like, but there's this thing that happens, and it happened this one time with this gentleman I'm telling you about, and he answered, and he continues to answer to this day, which turned into, oddly enough, like a friendship. And then this friendship, and he's much older than I am. He was very wise, and he had he was doing things in his life that I was like, man, I'd like to get to that point, right?
Yeah.
And so he would give me advice, and really like pushed me to. He knew that I like to do murals. He had found that out through talking to me. So then he would push me to do more murals, right?
Yeah.
And eventually, we got to the point where he was going on a trip somewhere, and he was like, hey, through the course of getting to know me, he found out that I wrestled in high school. He was like, hey, I'm going to St. Louis, and you like wrestling? I got some tickets. We went out there, and I got the chance to spend time with him and see him outside of like the element, right? And I realized that he was a Jesus guy, and I realized like up to that point, all the guys that I knew and I hung around, they were, they had like 3 or 4 girlfriends. They were they were doing all the wrong things.
Yeah.
This guy, he wasn't. And it put me in I felt like I was stepping up my game because I wanted to hang out with him, right? We're developing this friendship. And at one point, after spending some time with him, I was like, man, thank you so much for, mentoring me. I finally said the word mentor, right?
Yeah, there you go.
And he said, thank you for mentoring me too.
Wow.
And I was like, ugh,
That's
what?
deep.
So I walked away from that, and this is where I'm going with this. I hear Jay, he told me some amazing stories about you right now. I hear you talking about the mentorship, and I love it. I think it's amazing. It's something that is near and dear to our hearts. We're dads, and we want to raise our kids and our boys especially a certain way. I feel like you're doing it, and the question I guess behind the whole thing is there something to like the answering the call? Do you see something special in that person, and is that why you answer the call? Maybe this is what I feel. I feel like that gentleman saw something in me that I didn't see in myself.
Yeah.
And maybe he was like, I'm gonna nurture that. I'm gonna help him cultivate that. Is that something that happens with you when you're coaching these kids or mentoring them, or like how does that work? For you, and I think it's different for everybody, but I just want to know how it works for you. Because it seems like it's pretty deep. So
yeah, no, that's like you just kind of blew my mind with that, man. That's like a whole nother dimension right there. But to answer it, I think so. Little things. My mother always told us growing up, Miguel, just give a good compliment. Tell somebody something nice about like again, it goes back to the small. It really goes back to those small little things.
It's foundational.
Yeah, we teach our daughters, to pray over, say their grace over their food, hold the door for somebody. Little things now. I find myself like every morning now paying for the person behind me at Dunkin'. Like it's just really like these little things.
That's dope.
So yeah. I
Unless it's a minivan, I come back. I can't see how many kids.
Yeah.
Hold up.
Yeah. But yeah, I think so.
So you see something in these guys, in these young men. It might be something that you're like, man, I wonder if he sees that in himself.
Yeah.
And then you use that self-awareness that I was talking about, that superpower you have. You're like, I wonder if I can get this kid to see that in himself.
Yeah.
And I love that, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, it's actually something I think even I got revealed to myself. Like, wow, is this really what I'm like? You're looking around, you look at yourself in the mirror, you wake up, you brush your teeth, you're just like, wow, is this really your calling? Is this what I'm called to do? Like, is this my purpose? And
wow.
Yeah. And I thought about this right now.
Yeah.
This is what I was saying earlier. I think it's something about raising up like this next generation.
Amen. Heck yeah, man. Please, let's do it.
Yeah.
They deserve it.
Yeah.
They deserve it.
They deserve it. They need it. They're counting on
present men.
Yeah,
Yes.
present
Yeah.
men that are there and just somebody to pour into them.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I love finding like their strength, but then I love like maybe tweaking their weaknesses and then them just realizing, yeah, you know what? I do need to work on my
Yeah.
anger. My anger is a little
Yeah,
rough
okay.
right now. You're right,
Yeah,
Miguel.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
man, I'm dealing with that. Yeah, you're right,
Yeah.
you know.
And what age group are most of these young men? Where do they range?
From like 8th grade up until like high school,
Okay.
young college, you know.
Yeah, 13, 14 to early 20s.
Yeah. I got one guy. He's thinking about. Says he's gonna enroll in the military, but he loves barbering.
Yeah.
I've heard stories of guys that go to the military and they
That's
cut
what they
hair.
do.
That's what they do.
Yes.
They got the little
Oh, yeah, that's
floby
awesome.
thing. They're
Yeah.
cutting, the hair's getting sucked up off their head.
All the flow.
Yeah. You guys didn't think I knew that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
That
man.
used to be an infomercial when we were younger. We used to watch those. Hey, man, I'm blown away by what I'm hearing. And do you have a set program that you use when mentoring, or are you just like every kid has a different?
Yeah. Are there modules of
Yeah.
training, or is it more intuitive?
Is that something you even want to? You're thinking about? Hey, man, maybe this whole developing a program for this is a thing. You know, has that ever crossed your mind or?
I've yes and no. I guess I have ideas and things on the drawing board, but nothing executed. I more so like, I think it's all around good when I'm hearing them and I'm pouring into them and just like take that situation, jot that down. Okay, this guy comes in. All right, this is his deal. Okay, this guy comes in. All right, so I can put it in like a blender and just like, you know, see how it comes out.
Okay.
But I would love to do something like that in the future, for sure.
Yeah, I'd love to talk to you about that more.
Yeah.
Off air. Yeah, that's great. I love that idea.
Yeah.
It's a phenomenal conversation. I want to say a couple of things, and we're going to wrap it up because we like to keep it around 35 to 40
Sure,
minutes,
yes.
Miguel, because we love when guys listen on their way to work and
Yeah.
when they're coming home. We like it when it's a commute thing, too, you know, or when they're jogging and stuff. But one of the things that I love that I've noticed right away is the lack of desperation. Okay, so we talk about this all the time, and what I think is that there is so much like skill that you're very relevant to these young men. So we know that your deepest reach is if you practice what you preach. So they're watching Miguel. They're like, look, why is he cool and he's not a bad dude? Like, you know, why does he seem to connect with me? But all the things that he's doing, they speak to me on a level that isn't going to get me in trouble. So I think there's something amazing going on there. But I think the primary ingredient, Miguel, is that you listen to these young men, right? And that you never seem, when I watched you, Miguel, you sat down, you put a towel on your lap, and you literally put your hands on your legs, and you just made eye contact like you did with his 3 young sons. And I wish that people who want to be relevant in the young men's lives of their home would realize that just live the life. Don't overreact when they say something stupid, because remember, you said those stupid things too.
Amen.
You know, that's just between us.
Yeah.
They're not stupid
Yeah.
to you. Let them talk. Let them talk. And then the Lord will deliver the moment.
Yeah.
Right? Through that connection. He'll deliver that moment, Miguel, where everything comes together for those young men. But he won't deliver it as easily if you throw up walls and you snap at everything they say. Let them get it out. Let them know that they can tell you at midnight what they couldn't tell their mom and dad at 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
I love that about you, man. And I think this community is blessed to have you. And I think that Miguel, we should figure out something together. Like this city deserves, I mean, not that great things are going on, but I think that we should figure out, guys, how to connect on even a deeper level.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes.
Also, the thing that I wanted to say before we wrap it up is, you know, that keep answering the phone.
Yeah, man.
Just
That's
like
great,
that guy
Fernando.
did to me. You could continue to answer the phone. I think you will. I'm just saying, like, that's
Don't stop.
going to be
We love it.
important. Don't stop. And like you said, you know, you're taking notes on these gentlemen, and then, you know, you allow the Lord to, you know, open up whatever that looks like for you, you know, and to them.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, so we're going to wrap it up.
All right. I'm Fernando Lopez Jr.
This is Jay with Casey.
This is Miguel Negroni.
This has been the Mental Edge Podcast, and
We out.
Sincerely hope you enjoyed this episode of the Mental Edge Podcast. Please remember to like, subscribe, follow, and share. Until next week, we out.